History is written by the winners, and in all of history, there have been no bigger winners than China. But now, as you can clearly see, our golden age is long over. And what makes it even more painful is that, especially for our older citizens, our golden age was in living memory. We have lost our mandate of heaven, and the Europeans have taken advantage of China, forcing us to sign unequal treaties, to cede territory, and getting our population addicted to opium. It's clear to us that if we don't do something soon, the Qing will soon collapse from our internal rebellions and pressure from European devils. Right now, as the Qing, we have a lot of different problems. So I decided to tackle our most important one, which is our mass rebellions, as they are causing us to have to take loans to upkeep our massive army, which is preventing our economy from recovering. But right now, we are actually in a stalemate with the rebels because they are entrenched in the mountains. So neither side can really push. But after spying on the rebels, we have discovered one big weakness. With the exception of one, all the rebel nations don't own any military factories, meaning they can't replace lost equipment. So our plan is to continually keep throwing men at the mountains, and eventually they should run out of ammo and guns. Now, of course, bleeding out the rebels will take a long time. So while we do that, we should start improving the other aspects of our nation. Now, the second most pressing issue is the corruption taking place in our country, because European smugglers love to bribe court officials to look the other way when they are smuggling opium. A lot of court officials also keep tax money and overtax peasants. So the money that's supposed to go to the government, they're keeping for themselves, bleeding our coffers dry. To deal with this corruption, we have decided to promote Chushut, and as a relative of the emperor, he can be trusted to find and fire our corrupt officials. Rooting out corruption will take a long time, so while we do that, we're going to address another problem, which is widespread opium addiction. Right now, we would just like to ban opium, but the first time we tried to ban opium, European powers declared war on us, and under the treaty of the First Opium War, we are not allowed to ban opium. So now it's time for us to prepare for the inevitable Second Opium War. But while we were preparing, one of our rebellions was crushed, which eased our financial situation. And with the suppression of corruption, we are finally making more money than we are spending. So we decided to use these funds to modernize our army, as most of them still use spears. Using the money, we also decided to begin internal reforms. Now, first reform. A big reason why these rebellions are happening is because, ironically, in an attempt to stop any rebellions from happening, the Qing severed communication between provinces, making it so they couldn't help each other in times of crisis. So we undid that. Second reform. One big reason why Qing officials were so corrupt is because the Qing, we actually pay our officials very little. So corruption was incentivized. So even though it might hurt us in the long run, we increased the salaries of all government officials. And third and final reform was army purge, as a lot of generals were corrupt too, as they reported needing money for troops that never existed. Finally, after army purge and modernization, we were ready for the Second Opium War. The last thing we needed to do was fortify key cities like Canton and Tianjin. The way the war started was we found a British ship in Hong Kong with outdated registration. So we accused the crew of piracy and arrested them. Now, of course, this made the British government mad. So they sent us a list of demands demanding for the release of the prisoners and an apology. So of course we denied it, and then they declared war on us. The first battle of the Second Opium War took place in Canton, and thankfully for us, our army modernization showed its fruits, as the British were unable to take Canton and we successfully defended it. But it was different in Tianjin, as we had neglected to also modernize our navy, focusing on our army too much. And using their advanced corvettes, they were just able to bomb Tianjin from afar. And with us losing Tianjin, they had a direct path to Beijing, so we were forced to sign a treaty with them. But don't think this will be permanent, as we will break the treaty later on. But before we start the Third Opium War, we really should deal with our rebellions. But good news for us, though, all of our southern rebellions conquered, and the Neon Bandit army crushed. So, finally, the only one left is the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, and considering their defensive positions, it looks like we have to grind them out. Now, with China reunified again, it's time to break the treaty of the Second Opium War. And of course, we learned from our mistakes as we modernized our navy, and this time we won the Battle of Taku Forts, and Britain has lost the Opium War. We have banned opium, and now the last of our problems have gone away. Now, the Qing, as we are now, are destined to become the most powerful country in the world. Thanks for watching my video. Please like, share, subscribe, and share with your friends and family.